Everyone, my name is Rad, and I'm here today bringing you my guide on Bennett, aka Benito, for 2023. I'll be going over his talents, skills, constellations, recommended weapons, and artifact sets. Won't be going over team compositions, but I'll tell you why when we get to it. I'll also give you my overall thoughts on him near the end of the video. I'm going to make all of my character guides as concise as possible, so we're looking at hopefully under 10 minutes for each one, but some might be a tad bit over the mark. Quick note, these guides are not in-depth. I don't go over hypothetical numbers, theories, showcase immensely high damage values, etc. They are more of a quick, generalized, straight to the point recommendations for these characters. The final result is to provide as much information within a condensed time period. Timestamps will be listed down below in the description. Without further ado, let's drop that transition. Combat talents up first. Strike of Fortune. This is just Bennett's normal attack. There are charged and plunge variations as well. Elemental skill, Passion Overload. It's essentially an attack with two different variations. First one is Press. It's just a rapid strike that deals a pyro damage. Second, holding the elemental skill down, has two iterations. Iteration 1 results in striking twice and dishing out pyro damage while catapulting enemies away. Iteration 2 results in dealing 3 consecutive strikes that deal more pyro damage, but the final attack creates a blast that flings enemies and Bennett away, though Bennett does not receive any damage from this scenario. Cooldowns respectively in seconds are 5 for Press, 7.5 for level 1, and 10 for level 2. Elemental Burst, Fantastic Voyage. Bennett ascends and then dives, dealing pyro damage and generating an inspiration field. So the wording on this first part here can be a bit confusing to some, so I'll do my best to explain it. Essentially, within this field, it will constantly heal you if you are below 70% HP. But if your current character's HP is above 70%, the field's heal will not work, thus you won't be fully healed. But you can bypass this if your previous heal gets you to around 69% HP, let's say. Then the next heal that comes will get you to a near full heal. I don't know why I just said it like that. It's a bit confusing and there are more nuances that go into it, but that's the best simplified way I can explain it. So hopefully that helps. The second half is that if a user's health is over 70% HP, they will then receive an attack bonus based off Benito's base attack. Keyword base attack, not overall attack. It will also apply the pyro element for those in the vicinity of the field. Duration for this is 12 seconds with a 15-second cooldown, and the energy cost is 60. Passive talents, Rekindle. This reduces Benito's cooldown for his elemental skill by 20%. Fear not, being within the field generated by his elemental burst, his elemental skill cooldown is decreased by 50%, and level 2 of his elemental skill charge will not send him flying. It should be safe. It should be self-explanatory. Constellations, just some quick words. Constellations are not an absolute necessity for characters. They mainly just provide quality of life improvements and better enhanced skills, burst, or utility. Yes, some do get wild power spikes, I understand, but every character is viable in some way or form, even with no constellations. Benito's constellations are super solid, I'd say, though there is one that stands out. I'll be skipping his C3 and C5 as they only provide 3 levels to his skill. C1, Grand Expectation. The attack boost provided by his elemental burst no longer has a HP limitation, and you will also gain an extra 20% attack bonus based off Benito's base attack. Truth be told, if you are going for constellations, you can stop here as this is the only one you will ever need. Removing the limitation is huge, as it means no matter what your HP is at the time, you will always receive the attack bonus. Also getting another 20% on top of that is nice. Base Bennett alone is immensely great, but with this constellation, it just makes him otherworldly. C2, Impasse Conqueror. If Bennett's HP is under 70%, then his energy recharge is elevated by 30%. C4, Unexpected Odyssey. Using a normal attack when performing the second attack of his elemental skill on charge level 1 permits an additional attack to be executed. This extra attack dishes out 135% damage worth of the second attack's damage. Example, if the second attack did 100 damage, then the additional attack will deal 135 damage. And C6, Fire Ventures with Me. Any sword, claymore, or polearm user within his elemental burst receives a 15% pyro damage boost. Also, all normal and charge attacks are infused with pyro within this field. This constellation is very controversial. Very few, even till this day, opt to go for it. I personally avoid it as I don't want my other characters' abilities to be overwritten by this constellation. In terms of weapons, Bennett is a bit more simple compared to others, but the beauty of him is that he can be built in a multitude of ways. For the weapons here, in terms of 5 stars, I personally recommend a Skyward Blade. Has a high base attack, 608 at level 90, provides great energy recharge, and its passive gives a minor boost to crit rate. Then Aquila Favonia, mainly just for the highest base attack it possibly provides, 674 at level 90. These two I recommend if you're mainly building him as a pure support to maximize his buffs. Next two up are Primordial Jade Cutter, provides godly crit rate, passive increases Benito's HP by 20%, thus better heals. Also provides an attack boost based upon 1.2% of HP, so these two synergize well. Base attack isn't the highest, but with the crit rate it provides, it makes it easier to build him to construct a crit rate, crit damage build. Also, Mistsplitter Reforge provides great crit damage, provides highest base attack for a 5-star just like Aquila Favonia. Passive provides extra elemental bonus damage. Similar to PJC or Primordial Jade Cutter, it makes it easier to create a crit rate, crit damage build. These two I recommend if you want to build Benito more in line as a pseudo DPS or a hybrid, as they say. For 4 stars, I will definitely start off with the Ali Flash. Provides the highest base attack possible for a 4-star sword, 620 at level 90. Passive also increases damage dealt by the individual who has the weapon equipped. Next up would be Sacrificial Sword, if I can find it. There we go. Even though base attack isn't as high compared to Ali Flash, it does provide an immense amount of energy recharge. Also gives you the potential to reset your elemental skill upon damaging an opponent with it. Using this sword gives you the option to just focus on purely HP for him on his artifacts, since you're mainly aiming to have his burst available on cooldown. Next up would be the Favonia Sword, mainly just for the massive amount of energy recharge it provides overall. Same as Sacrificial Sword, you can solely focus on HP artifacts if you so choose. If you are free to play, then Prototype Rancor, mainly just for the base attack it provides. Artifact set. If you are going for a pure support build on Benito, which essentially is just providing buffs but also healing, then definitely the artifact set to go for is 4-piece Noblesse Oblige. Provides 20% elemental burst damage alongside a 20% attack bonus for 12 seconds for all current users when the elemental burst has been cast. Main affixes to look for are energy recharge on the Sands of Time, HP percentage on the Goblet of Eonatham, and healing bonus on the Circle of Logos. Minor affixes to look for are energy recharge and HP percentage. Anything else is preference. If you are going for a pseudo DPS build, artifact set remains the same, 4-piece Noblesse Oblige for the same reasons, though main affixes I'd recommend are energy recharge or attack percentage for the Sands, pyro damage bonus for the Goblet, and crit rate or crit damage for the Circlet. Minor affixes I'd say are crit rate, crit damage, energy recharge, HP percentage, and elemental mastery. There are other options, even some fun you can do for Benito, but universally Noblesse Oblige will be best for him overall. Team compositions. Well, this one is super short, and here's why. Truth be told, I can sit here and go over a multitude of team combinations for him, but Benito, in my opinion, is truly a universal character, and he can excel in most team compositions, I would say. Just make sure you pair him with characters that benefit the most from the buffs he provides. Final thoughts. Bennett is a C6 5-star character disguised as a 4-star. His flexibility is second to none. What he is able to bring to a team is truly remarkable, but at the same time he can also provide lots of damage himself. He's a jack of all trades but truly excels in everything. Even though he might be the unluckiest person in all of Tevat, if you do summon a Bennett, I highly recommend to level him up. The investment is worth it for now. Version 4.0, 7.0, Genshin Impact 2, Honkai Impact 4th, all the above and more. You get me? The 4-star Pyro Archon guide is now completed. Hopefully I did well in providing solid information within a condensed amount of time. I do know who is up next, and they are one of my absolute personal favorites, so stay tuned for that. Many thanks to those who watched this throughout. If you enjoyed or disliked today's video, you can either drop me a like or a dislike. I'm always open to constructive criticism. Also, if you like, press that subscribe button to keep up to date with future content. Would appreciate that. Anywho, I'm Rad. You're all awesome. See you later.